do you tell someone you're not okay? How much is too much to share?
Close your eyes.
I don't know.
Get some rest. I'm by your side. Lay your head on my chest.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Life with Sheila. Today you're gonna get a chit chat video because this has really been on my heart, and I didn't honestly know that I wanted to share until Monday. Today is Thursday. I am filming this today. I did not film anything Tuesday, which would have been what you would have seen today. Because in my mind I thought, okay, I'm ready to share. I'm ready to talk about this and share with you guys, because apparently it's the right thing to do. So I was gonna film that yesterday, and then I thought about it and I thought I really need to get my thoughts together. So I did. I kind of printed out just a few thoughts. If I glance over, it's just to catch my notes. I will be as authentic and 100% as I can. Shelby girl is on the floor beside me. You guys see my fireplace? I'm so glad that got done. I just love it. I love it. My house is fixing to transform in the next few weeks. I'm sorry, Shelby girl. Did I touch your paws? Because I love decorating for autumn. I usually wait till Labor Day weekend, sometimes that week right after Labor Day weekend, but it's always usually the first week in September. So my house will start to transform before your eyes pretty soon. But that's not the topic of today's video. It never is, because I can't ever just stay on track, right? That's part of why some of you love me, is it's like you're here and I'm just going from one conversation to the next. And what I'm sharing today, actually, I started in a conversation with a friend on Monday. In a text message, actually. Hi, Heather. You thanks for listening that day. And then I realized I probably need to share, because there are other people going through some of the same things. Oh my gosh, I don't want to cry, you guys. First, let me preface this by saying I know what the title says, and I don't want to be misleading. I am no longer struggling, but I was in silence. In silence. Oh, it's good to be loved. My daughter gave me this cup for Mother's Day, and I love drinking out of it. I am having a nice hot cup of coffee, and it is delicious. I'm enjoying it so much. I don't understand why nobody told me that to try breakfast blend. When it came to coffee, I think that just regular coffee has too much, it's too strong. I think it has too much caffeine. Because on most days I have a ton of energy. The last year though, I have faked it, and I haven't had any. None. Zip. Zilch. Nada. I'm kind of going to go backtrack a little bit, but I kind of want to start by explaining what... I don't know how to explain this. And I really kind of Googled for a term yesterday, and I couldn't find it. You know, when our children go through these growth processes, these stages, they have growth stages, and there's like a chart, and you kind of know about when your kid is going to start crawling and sitting up and walking and talking, and their sleep patterns and their attitudes and all that growing through. But nobody tells you the different stages that adults go through. Nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about the emotional part. Nobody talks about the physical part. Nobody talks about any of that. And sometimes it can leave you feeling very alone. Very alone. And I found myself feeling very alone this past year. Mind you, my husband loves me, and I know that. My children love me, and I know that. I work with amazing people, who at least like me, and I know that. And I have friends, I have family, I have people who really cherish me and love me. But I shut everybody out. I did. Hold on, I'm gonna let Shelby out real fast. All right, that was pretty important. She has turned into a camel, and y'all, that hair just keeps, every time I go outside, it just sticks right back up. She's turned into a camel. Last night we had some storms come through, so she heard the thunder and ran straight in before pottying, gosh, it was probably about 7, maybe 6:30. And she refused to go out after that. And now she doesn't like to go outside at night when it's dark unless you're playing with her. So this morning I tried to get her to go out. She wouldn't go. I tried to get her to go before I took the boys to school. She rode with us. She wouldn't go. Tried to take her when we got back. She got to the patio outside and said, nope, come back in. So, anyway, off topic. Anyway, that was a good chance to regroup as well, because you guys, please. I like to look at things as seasons. We kind of go through different seasons of our life. And just like we have a month left of summer, and then we go straight into autumn. That excites me. It's one of my favorite seasons. Where there's lots to do. There's lots of activities. There's fun decorations and holidays and football games and all the fun stuff. But those seasons always bring in disturbances, weather-wise, like a cold front. And usually when we get a first really big cold front, it usually comes with a thunderstorm with lots of lightning and stuff. That's kind of what I've been going through, is a disturbance. And I've gone through several of these, and I'm going to kind of talk about a few of them first, and then I'm going to jump into this last year. I'm trying not to make this very long, but it is what it is. If it's not a video that interests you, go ahead and click off. It's fine. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Just leave me a comment down below. Tell me hi, that I knew you were here. That'd be great. When I had my daughter, I was 25. I was fixing to be 26. I had her probably about 3 weeks before my birthday, somewhere around there. And it was on my birthday that I sat on my floor and cried. I probably still had some, hormonal stuff going on, but I realized that life wasn't about me anymore. And I felt very selfish for that one little thought. Oh, I have to get up when I don't want to get up. I have to do this when I don't want to do this. But looking back, I could see how immature I still was. I was a baby at 25. Come on already. I met my husband right before I turned 19. I was a baby when I met him. Gosh, that's so crazy. We were talking about that the other day. I'm like, we were babies when we met. He's like, you were. He's only 3 years old. Well, 3 years and 8 months or something older than me. Whatever. Anyway, let's just move forward. So once I realized I got through that process, it was great. And then I had the twins. I was 28 when I had them. I was fixing to be 29. So I had, when they came home, I had, for a little bit, a 2-year-old and twin infants. So I stayed home for 2 years with them. And when she started kindergarten, I went to work. I was ready to go back to work. I am a person, don't get me wrong, nobody get me wrong. I love being home. I love being in my home. But there's much more to me than just being at home. I'm much happier when I have a career. Always have been. I like having lots to do if you haven't figured it out. That's why I try to grow this channel. It's why I have other things in the back of my mind of projects I want to do. A podcast is one of them, and that I need to kind of talk to a few of you about. Anywho, let's move forward. So when I started working on my 30th birthday, I had just started working. Kristen had just started kindergarten. The boys were 2. I went through another disturbance, and it was a spiritual, emotional disturbance. And I kind of had to figure out who I was again, because here I am, I'm this mother, I'm a teacher, I'm a wife, I'm a homemaker, and I'm learning how to wear all these hats at the same time, and when to turn it off and when to turn it back on. And it was a difficult year. That was a difficult year for me. Then I guess maybe the next disturbance for us would have been when we moved, because we were buying a house for the first time. The house we lived in was a house my husband grew up in. He was born and raised in that home. And we didn't have a mortgage. We didn't have a lot of the adult responsibilities that other people had. And so we had to go through the whole home buying process, which really, you guys, when you look at it, from the time we found this house, that was in the beginning of November, end of October. No, it was the beginning of, I don't know, it's somewhere in there, between October and November. We went through the buying process. Then, of course, because we were going through financing through a credit union, who take extra days off for holidays, we got stuck in underwriting for a long time. Between Christmas and New Year's. Like, we were supposed to close on our house on December 31st. So we were so excited, and we were going to camp out in the living room with no furniture and start the new year in our new home. It didn't happen. It got pushed back. So we moved in the weekend right before my husband's birthday, which is around the 14th of January. So it was bittersweet, We got to start that year with our friends like we had been in the past. And then once we moved in, everything was hunky-dory. So it was just that little bitty hiccup. That wasn't even like a disturbance to me. That was just a hiccup. We learned a lot. We learned a lot about each other. We learned a lot about our marriage. We learned a lot through the waiting process. We learned that I am not patient with processes. My husband is. He is not patient with people, and I am. So we learned a lot of something new about each other that we did not quite understand. We just understand it on a different level. Then that was 2013. So then you go to 2016, and that was a tough year, because the fall of that year, October of 2016, my husband lost his job with the company he worked for 20-something years. And we were stuck in limbo. Oh my gosh, she's gonna be a little crazy now, so just ignore that in the background, whatever you might see. And so we had a lot of ins and outs. We had to learn how to budget. Just on yesterday's video you saw on the grocery budget, I explained I don't have a grocery budget right now. There were times I did, and that was a time that we did. I mean, we were living off of unemployment, and the little bit I made teaching, because I taught at a private school, my salary was not a whole lot. She's going to distract me a little bit. So that was a learning process. At the end of May, I had resigned from teaching. I had been presented, oh my gosh, I don't know what else she's pulled out. I was presented a job that didn't come through, but it was kind of like God was saying, okay, I've been trying to get you out of this atmosphere for 3 years. That's why you've been uncomfortable for as long as you have. And since you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to give you an opportunity to walk out with your dignity and with excitement. And I did. Turn that resignation in. It was the best thing I ever did. But then I was stuck, and it was great, because I knew that particular new job wasn't going to start up until middle of June. Well, I was used to not getting a paycheck in the summer anyway, so whatever. And my husband was not working at that time, and the kids were home. So we were home, all of us, for weeks. And then he got a job that took him working out of town. So he would work out of town for 2 weeks and come home for a weekend, and then do the same thing. It worked. How it did, I don't know, but it worked, and it worked for us. And then I woke up on a Saturday. You guys heard this story many times. Woke up on a Saturday, I was in the shower, and something told me, go check the local paper. Just go look one more time. And the job that I now have was in the local paper, and called and kind of emailed my resume. Had an interview that was on a Saturday. Had an interview that following Monday. Was told at the end of my interview they would make a decision by the end of the week, but was called that same day in the afternoon saying, we would like to offer you this position. Absolutely. So that was that, and that was the end of that disturbance. And life is great. Was working wonderful. And then my birthday in September. My birthday is September 1st. It's coming up. I don't want to say on that day, but very close to that day. As soon as I turned 45, I felt like I was falling apart emotionally, physically, everything. I didn't want to be with people. I loved my job because I could do what I needed to do and kind of escape in the process of these tasks that I accomplished throughout the week. I quit Cincy. Yes, because it was just getting to be too much. I loved Cincy. I really did. I loved the monthly subscription boxes I created through that. Those were fun, and they were lucrative, and I turned it over to someone else, and I kind of regret doing that now on this side of it, but I honestly, I don't have that time to do, because it took a lot of time, and to get paid pennies for all that time, it's just whatever. Anyway, so I pulled away from my parents. I pulled away even from my husband. I pulled away from neighbors and friends. I pulled away from everybody. I did start, though, doing more here on YouTube, just as a way to kind of find my creative outlet. I was trying to find myself again. And through this process, I absolutely have found myself again. My daughter moved out also in September. I was traveling away to one game on a Thursday, and there was one game on a Friday, and if I traveled on Thursday, it was a home game on Friday. So it was 2 late nights back to back. And you guys have heard me complain and talk. I do not function well if I don't get the right amount of sleep on a regular basis. I just don't. I need my sleep. I can go without sleep, but it's not the best idea. So I found myself just kind of pulling away from everyone, not want to talk to anybody. I would post on social media. I'd post a video and things were hunky-dory, and mind you, I pretty much stay authentic. So on the videos where there was a lot of energy, I had a lot of energy that day. But I'm gonna tell you, when Kristen moved out and I was the only one here in the home that was a female, you ladies know, when you're around other females, our cycles just begin to combine, conjure together. They have a relationship on their own. And you just begin to cycle together. Well, without her here and me being in the home with a lot of testosterone from 2 teenage boys and a husband, my cycle got off a little bit, and I really thought I was going into early menopause. I did have a little issue one month that really kind of made me worry, and a lot of that was probably stress induced. Girl, you're tickling my feet. Was probably stress induced because I was putting so much stress on myself by trying to function like a normal Sheila. And so I found a supplement. It worked well. I took it for 2 months, and I thought, let me see what happens if I don't. I stopped taking it, and my cycles are fine. They're back to being perfect. So I know for a fact I was not going through early menopause, which is great because I'm only 45. I'm fixing to be 46, and that is a little early. I don't want that right now. No thanks. I have gained a little, well, number wise I haven't gained any weight. But I haven't really lost a whole lot either, you know, and I don't eat a ton. Whatever. But that part doesn't even bother me anymore. That doesn't bother me. Yeah, I would like to be smaller. Yes, I know I'd be healthier. But to be happy is what's most important to me, because when we are happy, everything else falls into place. And when I started, something about Monday, I had taken a vacation day with the boys. Started getting things back in order in our home. We kind of went and did a few things together as a last hurrah before school started. But I found myself again. I did. I found my joy, and it's kind of odd almost. I'm kind of stumbling on my words a little. I don't want to even say odd, but it's just convenient that it's almost my birthday again. So I typically was going through another disturbance, another growth year. So I'm here to say I am back, better than ever. So many of you have joined me since I've been in this funk, and you don't even know it. You have no clue. You have no clue the joy that I feel on a regular basis that I just haven't got to share with you. It is almost sad to me that I feel like I have violated mine and yours. I feel like I have violated mine and your friendship, mine and your relationship, because I have not been able to show you all of who I am. And now you get to see every bit of it. I am a high energy person. I am silly. I am all those things. And I'm all those things authentically, without medication, without a liquid courage, as some would say. I'm here. I've made it. I feel like I have been running a marathon where as I'm running, my shoes just get so sluggish, and now it's like I'm free. I kick those shoes off. I got a new pair on, and I'm ready to go. And I'm glad that you're here with me to go through that. So my heart goes out to you if you are going through a disturbance right now. But let me lend you hope. It doesn't stick around. Just like a cold front comes through or a warm front comes through, and we get those thunderstorms and we get the lightning. Sometimes we even get tornadoes and strong winds. And they're enough to test you. But they don't stick around forever. They push through, and oh my gosh. You guys. She's trying to get the kitty cat to come out and play. Now she has one of her toys, and I think she's trying to share. I don't know if she's so cute. I love her. All right. If you've made it to the end, thank you so much for sticking with me. I'm glad that you got to hear that last bit, because I feel like I'm ready to start a new chapter. I'm flipping the page in the book. And I have a lot of energy and a lot of courage that I kind of was holding back in. And I'm glad you're here. Thanks for sticking with me. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Toodles.
But I'm right here, it's gonna be okay. The world could fall down, it's gonna be